Welcome to Houston Dynamo FC head coach Ben Olsen. I'll be joined by midfielder Adalberto Carrasquilla in a little bit. We'll start with Ben here. I will do everything in English and we'll do the translation into Spanish that's available on the Zoom. So with that, I will start with questions here in the room, then we'll transition over to questions on Zoom afterwards. So I'll start here in the room with Luis.
Thank you, Coach. Well, good to see you. How do you handle this? The group and the team plays well, but there seems that always there is small details that really complicate the games. How do you handle that and touch the group?
The positive spin is we've in the last two away games we've gotten a point, right, in an area that we've struggled with over the course of the year, of getting results and not giving up goals. And I think we got away from that, and we got back to that. I think the last two games fouled up a play that Andrew wasn't at his best in one moment, but this happens, and you still get a result, and you lose a PK shootout, which is obviously could go either way. So that's the positive part. The other part is we got to score some goals, and we're getting some looks. Some games we're in the right spots and executing everything but the play, and then there's some games we need to get more chances. So we're just always trying to find the balance of being defensively hard to beat and tough to break down, but also good in possession and building the game and getting a lot of chances. The last game I was a little disappointed in how we took care of the ball. As the weather continues to amazingly increase in temperature, it's even more important to take care of the ball and secure it so we don't cost ourselves a lot of energy on the defensive end. And so that part wasn't great the other night. But again, a tie on the road for where we're at right now is I think, a positive thing. And then we had one in Colorado. So now we have a different task ahead of us. A very good team with some great individuals, super athletic, dangerous, set pieces, a high-level 10, a number 9 that can score goals and is athletic and is a real handful, some good wide backs and overlapping outside, and some real improv to their game and some really clever players. So this will be a very tough task for us, but we feel good about it. We're excited, and it's nice to be home. It's a quick turnaround for us, not so much for them or Orlando. So we got the kind of short end of the stick with this, but that's not an excuse. I think we rested a few guys in the first leg, and I think we'll be able to put a pretty good team out there.
Ben, what do you take away from facing a Liga MX team for your team?
There's a little different feel to it, just because you're in the MLS for 6 months playing these games, and it is a little change in mentality. It's just a different opponent. So when you prepare for them, there's some different little wrinkles that they bring to you, or different wrinkles that they pose to our team, which I think is good. I think we, as a league and players here, have a lot of respect for the league, and both in the past and who they are now. So we understand they've got. It's going to be, I think, a very physical game. I think it's going to be a high-quality one, and I hope it's an entertaining one for our fans, because I know people are excited about the matchup.
You played in some of these games. Is there a bit of the U.S. versus Mexico soccer rivalry into it? I think certainly from the Liga MX side there is. I don't know.
It's changed a little bit, and I think there's little pockets of competitiveness as well that, depending on who you play and the history of the teams, maybe where you're playing at, in what area of the country. And so, as I said, I think it'll be a physical match, and I think it'll be high energy, and I think it'll be two teams giving everything they have. What that looks like and how far that goes, I'm not sure. I've been in ones where there's been I've been in some nasty ones, and I've been in some ones where there's been a high level of respect and just some really good soccer and entertaining matches. So, I don't think there's any ill will in some ways, like there maybe was back when I was young playing in some of these CONCACAF tournaments, or when the U.S. played Mexico. It always seemed like the blood was boiling more back then than it is now, because of how transitory everything is. So guys are there and here, and they know each other, and so I think there's more, and I think there's also more of a respect from Liga MX to the MLS and what we've done and where this league has grown to. So I think with that respect comes maybe less of that angst, but well, I don't know. We'll see.
Do you feel the team has a bit of the advantage being at home and maybe having players likes of Herrera and Carrasquilla?
I mean, they've got some good players. They have a pretty healthy salary cap, and they've got real players. Yes, we've got good players too, and we're at home. We're a little short on rest, which you could argue that that's their advantage in having some time, a little longer to prepare for us, and full energy. So, I don't know if any team has an advantage. It is nice to be home, and we, for the most part, we've done a good job there in playing some of our best stuff. Even the games that we lost, offensively, we've gotten a lot of chances and played I think a really fun, attractive way. Just didn't see out some plays, so hopefully we can continue our home form and see out some of the good that we've been building on, in particular at Shell Energy.
One more in the theme of the attack. There's been some recent reports with Sebastian Ferreira. Just wondering if you have any updates on his situation with the team.
I have no updates. I've heard the same rumors. They're not crazy rumors, so I'll leave it at that. But it's nothing. He's still here. He's still here every day, and he's been an awesome pro through this process. And in the end, we'll see what happens.
Is he available tomorrow night?
We'll see what happens. This is a kind of a day-to-day thing.
Any additional questions here in the room?
All at once. Are you concerned with the attack right now where you are in the season, or where do you position that?
I'm not overly concerned, but yeah, when you don't score goals, we scored one the other night, and I'd be concerned. I would say, if we're not creating the right chances, and we're not doing, we're not building in the right way and getting into the spots that we need to be in. There's two concerns, right? When you're not scoring goals, there's, okay, we're just not finishing plays out, and the final ball isn't there. There's that concern. And then there's the other concern is like, are we getting into the spots with the right frequency to put ourselves in spots to score goals, right? Those are kind of the two components in it. And one of those we're doing. We're getting our chances. Again, on the road in the MLS, you're not going to get them a ton of them. You got to be more efficient. So yes, being more efficient and more cutthroat with the moments. And concerned. I know we can do it. We've done it for large stretches of the season. And you go through these little waves and patches. Coco's been gone for a month. Hector's been in and out of the lineup with the All-Star. So there's some factors within that that I think will help some of the production. So that's my hope. But we'll see. We'll keep evaluating. We'll keep plugging at it. And as I said to you many times, this is every weekend's kind of figuring out still, even at 8 months into this, that who we are and who we can rely on and who can make this play and who partners up with somebody else and what are the relationships. We're still figuring this out, and but we're chugging along. We're getting points. We're on the turn of the MLS going into this home stretch. We're in the mix. So overall, I don't want to grade ourselves to this point, but there's something to us, and we're building something. And in the league, it doesn't always just roll like this. There's going to be ups and downs, and you go through little stretches. Summers are a grind here, and figuring out the balance of training every day in this heat and keeping energy levels high, but also taking advantage of that on game day when opponents come in from colder climates. So just trying to find all this balance. It's all new, and we're enjoying kind of the process of this season.
Okay, so we'll transition over to questions on Zoom. If you have questions on the Zoom, please click the raise your hand button and we'll get you in. Si tiene una pregunta para Ben, pone el botón levante la mano. We'll start with Orlando Castellan. Orlando, go ahead.
Gracias. Buen día, profesor. Orlando Castellán, de Servicio Informativo en Deportes. ¿Qué tanta presión va a haber el día de mañana por sacar un triunfo ante Santos, más allá de que ustedes perdieron el primer partido contra Orlando City? En esa parte, ¿cómo se encuentra el equipo para sacar mañana un buen resultado y seguir vivo en esta League's Cup?
How much pressure is there to get a result tomorrow against Santos, and how big would it be to get a result against Santos here in this tournament?
Yeah, it would be huge. We understand it's a very talented team, and there is pressure. Of course, we the players live with that. We live with that. We're at home, so the pressure is obviously to win because of the culture we're trying to build, and with that comes pressure, but also being home. But really, we need to win. We have no choice. We have to go after this game in a way that ends in 3 points, or else we leave it to the other teams, and we have to wait and see what the situation is a few days later on Saturday. So it's a very important game for us to try to win.
Sí, hay mucha presión, claro que se quiere ganar. En general, pues vamos a buscar un triunfo por la manera que queremos seguir en este torneo, entonces no hay otra opción para nosotros más que ganar.
Okay, next we'll go to John Lupo. Go ahead, John.
Ben, you mentioned how athletic Santos is and that they have an excellent number 10. It also seems like they play a formation where they sort of like to stretch the defense. They like to play out wide. What do you think would be some of the keys for your defense to maybe sort of keep them more central and to prevent them from really getting good chances?
Well, I'm not sure we want to keep them central, because the goal is central. And the more we can keep them away from the goal, the better. And I know what your question is. I get it. I'm not being flippant. We still want to, I think it's very, very important to deal with the overloads and the improv nature of them wide. So it's checking guys off, it's matching their numbers, it's getting out to service, and all the little things that we preach anyways in how we go about the game defending. They will play through the middle if it's open enough, but certainly Brunetta, keeping him off the ball as much as possible. He's a very dangerous player, limiting some of the opportunities that they get where we're low on numbers out wide, where they can get in 2v1 situations or 3v2s. But again, all the principles that we preach every day, if we do those, we'll have some success against them. But again, it's a good team. There's quality all over the field, and we'll have to be structured, be at our best, gutsy. There will be, as I talked about, the physicality of this game potentially. Some of the duels, some of the seconds, they will go direct, and they have a big boy up top that can cause real fits, whether it's the first one or grabbing the second. So we'll have to be alert with that, with our holding midfielders, wide boys pinching in, number 10s coming back down, and then securing it. So second balls mean nothing if you can't secure it. Whether you're able to strike them in transition or then on a hot day, secure it and come out the other way. That'll be the difference for us. We didn't do a good job of securing the ball against Orlando, and again on these hot days that adds up to defending.